Hey, what's up everyone? It's your girl Brain Shanae, and today I have a double review for you with the two books that I had recently read this month, which is June, and I fell in love with them. I adored them. They're amazing, and I recommend them. But to know what books they are, you have to please stay tuned. So please, stay tuned.
Every single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way. Every single day, I'm gonna make.
All right, so the two books that I want to give you my full review on is The Stars and the Blackness Between Them by Janata Petrus, and then A Phoenix First Must Burn, edited by Patrice Caldwell. Ooh. These books are amazing. Like, I enjoyed them so much. Like, I took my time reading these because I wanted to get the feels of both of these books. So the first book that I read was definitely this one. It's basically like, it's queer. They we have Mabel, we have Audrey. Audrey is from Trinidad, and she fell in love with a girl at church, and she loved her. Like, she loved her really much, like so much. But her mother found out, and her mother sent her to the States, in Minneapolis, to live with her father. And then we have Mabel, who becomes her friend. She known Audrey because Audrey had went to the States to visit her dad once a year or something like that. And so they become friends. They already know each other. And then eventually Audrey falls in love for Mabel. But then Audrey finds out that Mabel is sick. It's a rare sickness, something that a lot of people have not heard of. And so and with this book, it was amazing. Just getting the perspectives of both characters was absolutely amazing. I cried at the end of this book. I was crying a lot during the last few sections of this book because it was very touching. Like, I can't tell you how touching this book was. And for Mabel to finally, as she knows, like, she's pretty much going to not live much longer, she was struggling with that thought. But then she reached out to a guy in prison, and it wasn't just a random guy. Well, it was a random guy, but it was a book she read, and that he had written about his experience and everything like that. Of his name is Awufa, and his best friend was killed. And he was the one that the police officer stated that, or blamed him for killing accused him of killing his own best friend, which he did not kill his best friend, but he was still put in prison, falsely accused of killing his friend and put in prison for life. So with that, Mabel reached out to him. She by sending him a letter, and she wrote back to him, and he was happy that she had written to him and everything. So it's just amazing. I really love that base of it. Pretty much, this book also talks about astrology. So with the books, it goes on to like Cancer season, Capricorn season. It gives you perspectives of everyone's pretty much astrology wise, what their personality is, like Capricorn season, all that stuff. Aquarius, it was a lot. Like, I was interested in this, so I was like, maybe I should know more about astrology because it's really interesting to know about that. But let's see, he has Capricorn season, so it goes throughout the seasons, the years. But in the Afua is the prisoner that Mabel had reached out to in the prison, and he had written her a couple times. And he was the one that got Mabel into researching more about astrology and knowing their personalities and who they would love and all that, and how they would become during this part of the season and all this other stuff. And I think Afua, the prisoner that was in jail, really helped Mabel. And with that, at the end of the book, I'm not even gonna like tell you what happened, but it was amazing. 5 out of 5 stars. I definitely recommend this book. This is an ARC that I got, and this came out last year in September, but I really really enjoyed this book. The two perspectives. I loved Audrey as well. And I also loved the best character that I loved the most too was Queenie in this book, which is Audrey's grandmother. Queenie knew about Audrey loving a girl, and Queenie says that is okay, because you're not gonna, for someone to love you like that, to love you back like that, that's something that you have to keep, you have to hold on to, because that's special. And so her grandmother did not judge her at all, because her grandmother also felt that way too about a woman. And I thought that this was beautiful. Queenie was telling her, regardless of who you love, you can't help who you love. And I just love this so much. And this is Pride Month too, so this book is also pretty good for this month as well. But I adore this book. I recommend it. Junauda Petrus did a phenomenal job with this book. Like I said, amazing. Get two perspectives of two different girls, one from Trinidad, one from Minneapolis, one going through an illness that she will never return from, one that's coming to the sense of it's okay to love a girl and nothing is wrong with that. You can't help who you love. And for Audrey to be comfortable in her skin and who she is, I think that's amazing too. So definitely I recommend this book. And also it has a synopsis where it says, Trinidad, 16-year-old Audrey is heartbroken, having just found out she's going to live in America with her father because her mother caught her with her secret girlfriend, the pastor's daughter. Audrey's grandmother, a dancer who drives a white convertible Mercedes and has a few secrets of her own, reassures Mabel that she won't lose her roots, not even in some place called Minneapolis. America have day spirits too, believe me, tells Audrey. And I also like how Audrey speaks. Like, you could tell she's from Trinidad. She has that accent, which I love. And it's shown in the writing of this book, which is amazing. I love that. And then we have Minneapolis. We have a 16-year-old Mabel is staring at a picture of Whitney Houston. That also reminds me, there's so many great things about this book. It brings up Whitney Houston. It brings up the movie The Warriors, which that's a classic movie. I love that so much. So it just brings up stuff that we can all relate to. So it says, is staring at a picture at Whitney Houston, trying to figure out why she feels the way she feels about her ex Terrell, about her girl Jada, and that moment they had in the woods, and about the vague feeling of illness that's plagued her all summer. Mabel's reverie is caught short when her dad announces that a friend and his just arrived from Trinidad daughter are coming for dinner. Mabel falls hard and fast for Audrey, and she's determined to help Audrey find her way in America. Never an easy thing for a black girl, as she knows, but their romance takes a turn when test results reveal exactly why Mabel has been feeling low-key sick all summer. Suddenly, it's Audrey who must care for Mabel as she faces a deeply uncertain future. So it says, told in two lush and lyrical voices, Junauda Petrus's debut conjures a love that is stronger than hatred, prison, and death, and as vast as the blackness between the stars. So, also, like, the title of the book came from The Prisoner, and that's in this book, and that Mabel had read and found out where she could send her letter to him, and his book was pretty much this title in a way. So like I said, 5 out of 5 stars. Definitely recommend it. Loved it so much. Just references of Prince as well in this book, which I love. I love Prince. But yeah, so this is not a boring read. This is a very, I feel like it's a spiritual read too. Like, it gets deep into your roots and knowing who you are and loving yourself, which this next book, I will go deeper into that. But yeah, love this book. Definitely recommend it. Next book. A Phoenix First Must Burn. It has 16 stories of black girl magic with resistance and hope. So the writers of this book, which they describe this book as Beyonce's Lemonade meets Octavia Butler. So it says 16 tales by best-selling and award-winning authors that explore the black experience through fantasy, science fiction, and magic. So you have Elizabeth Esvedo, Marie Patrice Caldwell, Danielle Clayton, J. Marcel Corey, Samaya Dodd, Charlotte Nicole Davis, Justina Ireland, Alea Dawn Johnson, Danny Lore, L.L. McKinney, Danielle Page, Rebecca Roanhorse, Karen Strong, Ashley Woodfolk, and Ibby Zaboy. They've all had written stories in this book. This book was amazing. like this also fits Pride Month in a way. This also fits Pride Month too, with a lot of the stories. And I think for this book too is there was a lot of stories about Black women feeling comfortable in their skin. It also brought up colorism, of how some women that are more darker complected feel like they're not accepted because they're dark skinned, and that light skinned women get more attention. So it talks about colorism and that being comfortable in your skin, and how women, especially today, like to do skin lightening creams and all this other stuff, and it's really not necessary. Like, all Black women are beautiful to me, like all Black women. I don't agree with the skin lightening at all, because I feel like we should love ourselves. We as Black women, we is strong. We are strong women. It doesn't matter what type of pigment we have. If you're light skin, dark skin, it does not matter. And I feel like with this book, it brings that up too, especially in experience in America, being a Black woman, having that pressure of like in this day and age of being light skinned is better and all that stuff, which is not. Like, I tell you, like, I'm a supporter of loving who you are and loving the color of your skin, loving your own skin, loving who you are on the inside and the outside. And this definitely explores that. It also tells of women, you know, if someone loves you, and if you love a woman, that is okay, because if they love you as just as much as you love them, or whatever, they love you just as love you just as much as they love you, or whatever, that is worth it. That is worth it, because finding love out here in this world is hard, and it doesn't matter if they're a man or a woman. So like, this book has so much that I love so deeply, and I recommend it. This is also an arc that I received, but this came out March of this year. And this book is amazing. Like, even the cover is amazing. It's just like, it has a lot of science fiction. It has vampires and witches and everything in it, everything like that. But like I said, it features colorism, queer stories, science fiction stories, everything like that, and betrayal, loss. How do you cope with it? Things like that I really loved and enjoyed with this book. I really enjoyed it so much. Like, all the stories, there were some stories that were like but there were a lot of stories that I really loved in this book as well, which I said deal with colorism and people that find out who they are and think it's wrong to love a woman, but it isn't. It's not wrong. If you love a woman, you love a woman. If they love you just as much, there you go, because love is hard to come by. So like I said, I enjoyed this book so much. I also cried with the stories, because it just brings back a whole lot of issues in this world, especially what's going on with the Black Lives Matter movement and everything like that. And women are constantly being treated wrongly, or I feel like being I feel like, I can't say abused, or maybe I don't know if that's the best term, but even in the industry of like Black writers Black writers in general aren't getting the attention that they're supposed to be getting. They're not getting what they deserve. And I feel like with what's going on with Black voices and everything, and buying their books and reading them and spreading the word, I think that's amazing. I support it wholeheartedly. But I enjoyed this book. 5 out of 5 stars. I definitely recommend it to everyone, especially during this time where people are trying and starting to support Black authors. So keep it up, you guys. Keep it up, because I feel like now is the time where we have to keep going. We cannot stop. We have to keep going. We have to get our point across. And I feel like we're doing a great job with it, but we have to stay consistent with it. Consistency is the key. We can't just stop and then wait another year and then go back to the same thing. No, it has to be consistent in order for things to change, in order for change to even happen. But anyways, love both of these books. They definitely are books that I recommend, especially for this month. It's Pride Month, so definitely read this. But even if it's not Pride Month, read these books, because these are amazing. And you will, like, with both these books, you will know more about the Black experience and being Black in America. But these are the 2 books that I read. Love them so much. Couldn't get enough of these. So yeah, But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I was ranting a lot, but I really love these books so much that I really would read. I'm going to reread them again. But anyways, if you did enjoy this video, please give me a thumbs up. Also hit that subscribe button and that bell to be notified when I upload more videos in the future. But thank you so much, you guys. See ya.